right, everybody, welcome to Move, Think, Smile. My name is Adam Von Ins, and together with Eléa Faucheron, I'll turn my camera on here, and Eléa will turn hers on too. We are the founders of Move, Think, Smile, and we do these periodic Make Your Marketing Work live Q&A sessions, complimentary for people in the health and wellness industry. And so we had a lot of people sign up today. We had a lot of questions come through, but what we want to do is we don't want to fill this with a lot of fluff. We don't want to fill this with a lot of presentation. We do want to jump right into this to make sure you guys are getting support with your marketing and sales systems. Because if you've been following Eléa and I since 2011 when we started Move, Think, Smile, or you're new to Move, Think, Smile, you know we have one goal and one goal only, and that is to make this world a healthier place. And when we do it the right way, you can also save your clients and patients thousands of dollars over traditional healthcare, and also while having a great income along the way. So right now, I want to do a quick round robin. I want everybody to put your cameras on. If you don't have them on, I want you to unmute, and we're going to call on you individually. And I want to hear what's your biggest marketing and sales challenge right now? Like, seriously, like what's not working at the level that you know it truly could be or that it should? What's not working with the business? What's your biggest marketing sales challenge right now? Like basically, how can Eléa and I support you today? What are you looking to really get out of today's session? I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Let's just go around. Eléa, who would be first?
Start with Glenn.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hey, Glenn.
All right, perfect. You know, I don't really have a marketing challenge yet. I just really came on to, I've followed you guys for a couple months. I've been on. I haven't even launched yet. I'm in my integrative health practitioner level 2 course right now.
Right on.
And so I'm probably 2.5 months out from being finished.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of on here to get some ideas and listen to other people and what their questions are so I can gain better knowledge.
Right on. So let me ask you this. Do you have a plan to get clients once you get done?
Not at the moment, no. I mean, there's so many people out there that are marketing this and marketing that, saying, "Oh, I can get you this and that." And I've talked to a couple of people, but I'm not quite sure there's somebody in my space that is an integrative health practitioner to mastery. She actually works for the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. Yep. She's here local. I'm in San Diego.
Right.
And she's offered to help, but nothing confirmed or solid yet.
Okay, so the marketing challenge is we don't have a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, would you agree?
Yeah. I have no plan currently.
Okay, you don't have a plan. Okay.
Nope, no plan.
All right, got it. No plan. Glenn's got no plan. All right, Glenn, you're going to like most of this because we're going to go down through and order some things. Just so you know, I am an integrative nutrition health coach. I've been in that space for a long time. Eléa is a world-renowned life coach, and we specialize in functional, integrative, holistic, longevity, and regenerative modalities. And those are the clients that we help, especially from a marketing and sales standpoint. I literally got my master's from Northwestern University in 1995 in integrative marketing communications. And I've worked with companies you may have heard of: Disney, Seagram's, Volvo, Mack Trucks, BASF, just a couple, name a few.
Never heard of those.
Yeah, I never heard of those.
I've lived in a cocoon my whole life.
So our background's like we're first and foremost marketing and salespeople, and they were secondly integrative practitioners, just to kind of put that in perspective. All right, so Glenn needs a marketing plan. Eléa.
Okay, all right, let's go to MJ Rise. Let's see, I don't have your name.
Sorry, Mark.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm kind of following Glenn's marketing program. I've actually been in practice for 24 years, and fortunately for the last 24 years, I really haven't had to do any marketing. My business has thrived, and it's done very well on word of mouth and client recommendations and retention. But I'm moving into a bigger space. I'm adding other practitioners. I'm adding some new modalities. And so I am, in about 3 months, going to try to blow this thing up. And so I am now trying to transition to, I need to start figuring out a marketing plan.
All right. So we've got an existing practice, couple decades old. And what's your health? What's the core focus of your health and wellness biz?
We do a lot of injuries and pain management. Okay. But we also do, again, where I've got a LED bed, I've got pulsed electromagnetic frequency. So we're starting to get into a little bit of the biohacking and longevity type of things as well.
Nice. You're speaking my language. I'm the guinea pig. I'm the guy. I'm one of those guys that goes out there, reads it, and does it.
Yes.
Yeah. And most of the time it works out in my favor. There have been a few times I'm like, that was a bad idea. It didn't work like I thought it was going to.
But that's how you learn, right?
Yeah, right. Someone's got to do it. I'm
Yes.
the one dumb enough to do that for sure.
Exactly.
All right, Mark. So welcome. All right, so we've got an existing practice. We need a marketing plan too because we've been all referrals and we're growing. So we got to scale again. We'll definitely be getting to that. Probably about 10 to 15 minutes in for sure.
Okay.
Eléa?
Okay, let's go to Martha. Martha, I think you kind of joined recently, but we're just kind of going around. What's your marketing question and or how can we support most today?
Well, this is my first time to one of your meetings, and I've been looking at some of your stuff, and I'm trying to launch my business. I've been in the health and wellness industry, mainly as a consumer for a long time. So I have a lot of skill in that, practitioner in nutritional endocrinology. And I decided to add coaching because I was selling products. And so when I got certified, moving over to that and just need help trying to go get people interested, I guess. So I'm like at the novice stage.
All right. So did you say coaching? Are you a health coach?
A health coach, right? The healthy living coach.
Right on. Cool.
Okay.
I'm an IIN coach, whatever. Same thing. Always great to meet a fellow health coach. Love what you do. Absolutely. Okay. So new client acquisition, Martha, sounds like what's there. And that is absolutely where we need to be, especially when it comes to starting up a new business. We got to get clients in, we got to get the cash flow going, and we'll definitely get into about 20 minutes in for sure. Eléa, who's next on the list? So guys, what we're doing is we're going around the room real quick. Just explain to us, what's your biggest marketing and sales challenge right now? What's not working at the level it truly could be, or that it should, so we can make sure that we're getting to everybody during this live Q&A support session.
Yeah, so we have, let's see here, a few people in the chat box. Priya, who said her biggest challenge is getting out there, both virtually and in person, visibility with confidence. So, and she's just able to listen in today, but she did put that in the chat box.
Okay.
So
let's check in with Sonia. I see she's got her camera on. Sonia, what's your biggest marketing sales challenge? What can we best support you with today? What would you love to walk away with today? Looks like she's muted. There you go. You are muted, Sonia. I don't know if you can hear me. There you go. All right, go ahead.
Okay, that's better. I'm brand new in the area, and I would just like to know exactly how to go about to advertise or make use of social media in order to get people to my online shop that I've just started.
Okay, and so you've just started, and what's the focus of your health and wellness company? Like, what do you do?
I've got a health clinic, a health and wellness center, and yes, I've developed my own products, which is also a range of practitioner only, but I've also developed a range for the retail market. So yes, so that will actually, help to guide people to my practice as well. So
okay. So it sounds like you've got services and products. Is that correct?
Exactly.
On the service side, what do you do specifically? Give me a couple examples.
I'm a nutritional biochemist. I've got my PhD in nutritional biochemistry. So I've got a holistic approach where I incorporate computerized iridology, Reiki, nutritional plans, health retreats, and so forth.
Okay. And are we looking to grow both sides of the business or just the product side?
I'm looking to grow both sides of the business.
Okay. All right.
I really do feel that focusing maybe on the product side can drive people to the service side.
Interesting.
Or maybe the other way around.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because both can work.
Yes.
And if you've been watching any of our stuff, like any marketing strategy can work, but it's really figuring out and strategizing and putting a formal plan into place that was going to work for your market, for your tribe, for your offer, for your skills, and for your sanity.
Right. Got it.
All of those.
Yes.
Right, so we'll definitely get into that. So I love that Sonia talked about social media marketing because that can be very powerful, people, but could also be a bomb. Like it could really hinder you too as well. So we'll talk about that as well. So we'll get out in about 30 minutes or so. Fantastic. Let's check in with
Thank you.
iPhone.
We have iPhone. Yeah.
iPhone sitting outside with a beautiful tree behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be me. I'm Joanne. I guess I don't know how to change my name.
That's all right, Joanne. We'll do it for you.
Okay.
So, Joanne, how can we best support you today? What's the biggest marketing and sales challenge you're looking at right now?
Well, I have been in practice as a nutritional therapist for 15 years and never really had to market. I had plenty of clients just word of mouth, but I had a brick and mortar office, and now I've moved to a more rural location to get away from all the 5G towers and such. So I'm working remote with clients, and I cannot make social media work for me. That is the biggest stressor in my day when I try to sit down and think about something to post. So I'm looking for alternatives.
Okay. I will definitely get into that. So just out of curiosity, in like 5 seconds, like what have you tried on social media? Are we doing paid ads or are we just posting and doing organic stuff?
I haven't even hardly got that far. It's just way too stressful for me. That's just not my personality.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. It's not a lot of people's personalities. So you're not alone. You're not alone. We'll get into some alternative strategies for sure that you'll likely find pretty helpful. Let's see. I saw Tao came in. Tao, how can we best support you today? What's your biggest marketing and sales challenge? What are you looking to get out of this session the most?
Yeah, hi everybody. So we have courses, nutrition courses, functional medicine courses. Yeah, I was interested in learning some more strategies on conversion.
Okay.
We're getting leads. Want to improve our conversion.
Okay. So basically, so when you're doing your courses, are you selling them or are they free?
Yes, those are paid courses. Yes.
Those are paid courses. And so your conversion, you're wanting to convert people who purchase the course into what?
Into clients.
Into clients. Okay. So we'll get back to that. All right. So sales conversion is a big one. Basically, it's what we're calling ascension. So it's increasing lifetime value. And we'll definitely get to that about 40 minutes in, Tal. So good stuff for sure. Let's see here. Anybody else, Eléa?
Let's see. I think we got everyone that is here and has mic and video.
That's got mic and video. Okay. Well, Diane.
Oh, wait. Nope. There's Diane.
Diane.
Here we go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. What's the biggest marketing challenge that we could help you with today?
So I'm a brand new health coach. I'm a registered nurse for 25 years. And I just took a course and became certified to be holistic, all the things. So I'm just starting out. I don't have an LLC. I think this resonates with a few of us in this group as far as the online stuff. That's not where I'm aligning as far as marketing. So just more organic ways to get clients. Clients, how to contract, how does an offer look, things like that. So baby startup.
All right, cool. All right, so we got a couple. So we're going to start out of the gate with some of that stuff. So when you say online, do you mean, but then you said organic strategies, do you mean doing marketing that doesn't require the internet? Or are you talking about doing marketing that doesn't require paid advertising?
Both.
Both. Okay, so how do I market myself without using the internet?
Correct. Like Instagram, Facebook, that's not my space.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming to me. Yeah. It feels there's got to be an easier way in my head. Again. Yes,
understood. There are multiple ways to do it. And I want to highlight to everybody, it's like, look, marketing and sales, they make you want to throw your hands up in the air and probably scream a little bit, right? I totally get it. It's overwhelming. Having a health business, anybody that's, especially Mark or anybody that's had a practice for more than 6 months, the money dips, it goes like this, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is like, one of the things we want to instill into everybody today is like, the only ones that fail are the ones who quit. So you guys are wellness revolutionaries. We are honored for you to be here today. We're literally at a tipping point from sickness to wellness. And there's a lot of really cool things happening. So Diane, we'll definitely get to that and we'll kind of lead out the gate with that. And
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. And let's see, Sharon, how can we best support you today? What's your big marketing and sales challenge? If she's got audio. I see her.
Sharon does not. She's just listening, but she did put in the chat box conversion. So she gets all of her clients from referrals or workshops that she does, but she'd love to convert more of those that come through her email list and social media and conversion from cold market. So another conversion question. So that's great.
So Sharon, my question would be, and you can put this in the chat box if you don't have audio, is the referrals are these people who've never paid you $1 and you're trying to get them that first dollar from them? Or are these people that have bought something kind of like Tao, where they purchase like maybe a gateway offer or a low ticket item and you're trying to get them to more of a higher impact, higher ticket course or a program or coaching or service level? Let me know in the box. And we've got Med here. Med, how can I best support you today? What's your big marketing and sales challenge that you need the most help with right now?
Okay, so I've just launched my first program. It's Hypnosis for Guitarists. It's a program. There's like, I've got 3 levels, like the basic, which is activate, accelerate, and then elevate. I've just launched it, and it's to help guitarists with their performance, confidence, stage presence, creativity, connectivity with other musicians, etc. Because I'm a guitarist as well as a hypnotherapist. So I'm just like, I haven't started any kind of Facebook campaigns for it yet, and it's starting on the 2nd of July. I've done a basic Facebook post, but I haven't done like the full campaign for it, and I'm kind of a bit stuck there, and I don't know how to kind of get it out there. I've got all the right hashtags and stuff like that, but and it's on my website as well. Yeah.
All right, so you've got your program.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready. You're getting ready to launch.
Mm-hmm.
And the big challenge is what to do next.
Yeah, just to kind of get people to sign up for it, because I'm not into all this kind of full stuff. I'm not a salesy kind of person.
Right.
I just want to do Facebook ads and get the right reach for it, or any other possible ideas. So Instagram and Facebook. Basically.
Okay, got it. All right, basically how to launch my new offer. Is that the challenge? All right,
yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. So we'll definitely get over some of that stuff too. All right, so what I'm going to do real quick, guys, is I'm going to share my screen again. Let's get back to here. And I'm just going to go over kind of our agenda. And just so you know, that's Ellie and I literally on NBC being filmed, battling against American Ninja Warriors at Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge. And we are hauling our team captain, who is a professional obstacle Spartan racer who does this full time, over a wall because she couldn't get up it. So this whole session today is about helping you guys turn your marketing into an impact-driven sales machine. And if you've been following us, or if you're just new, we are all about impact-driven marketing, meaning first and foremost that we get out there and we change people's lives, meaning we help somebody significantly improve either their physical, their mental, and or their emotional health in some form or fashion using some type of wellness modality. And you guys have heard these terms before: functional, integrative, holistic, longevity, and or regenerative, or whatever you are in your space. And it doesn't matter if you're a coach like I am, or you just help people change their behavior, which is very, very powerful in our experience, or if you're a regulated practitioner and you're really trying to get down to the functional blood work level and things like that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to divide the support session up into these sections: offers, niche, and pricing, which a lot of you are kind of like starting out of the gate. You're not really sure how to get out there and do that. Then we've got messaging, positioning, and copy. These are basically the words that you use and how people interpret what you're saying. It's very important that your messaging is spot on, because so many people are getting out there and launching their offers, and they're either falling flat or they're getting denied by the marketing mafia like Facebook and Meta and Instagram and Google and all those people. We've got lead generation. So the most common thing that we need, like actually, most people are scared of lead generation, but I will tell you right now, lead generation is actually one of the easiest things for us. It's converting them into a paying client. That's a tougher one, kind of like Sharon was talking about, which we'll get to as well. Marketing strategy funnels, like which funnel should I use? Kind of like Med was talking about. It's like, okay, I'm getting ready to launch this thing. What should I do? A lot of people are like, I'm not a fan of social media, but we have it pounded into our head that we have to do social media. And the reality is you can you can fall in love with social media if you want to use that as a strategy. And I'll talk about that. Then we got getting more people to purchase. That's a whole infamous, okay, I've got a lot of people clicking on my stuff and raising their hand, but no one's buying. How do we make that happen? Then, of course, increasing lifetime value, which is what Tao's at. So Tao's got people buying his course at a lower value, but how does he get the increase annual sales per person, per customer coming in. And then, of course, our infamous marketing taboo offers. And if anybody is in the space where if you mention certain words, Facebook automatically wants to decline your ad and shut your ad account down, those are going to be sexual dysfunction. They're going to be menopause disorders and things like that are really, really what they consider sensitive and taboo. We could talk about that too. So let's start off with offers, niche, and pricing. And let's kind of go over, let's start with Mark, because Mark, you've got an existing practice. You're doing some things. You've had referrals coming in. You're getting ready to expand. And so let's kind of talk about your offer. So real quick, tell me, what has been the bread and butter for your practice for the past 6 months? What's been the biggest revenue generator? Oh, you're muted. That's all right.
Let's fix that. There we go. I think the bread and butter of what brings people in my practice is that I offer 100% guarantee on their first appointment, that if they don't feel 50% better by the end of their first session, it's free.
Okay.
Which gives all the pressure on me when people come in and say, I've been to everybody and nobody's getting me better.
Okay. And what do they come? And may I ask, what are they coming to you for? Like what's not working?
I see everything from chronic pain to athletic injuries to that type of thing. So we're treating most people for pain.
Pain.
Now, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and what modality are you using for pain?
So we do a lot of manual therapy, but we also do use lasers, infrared, some PMF therapy, but manual therapy is our main bread and butter.
Okay. And what's your formal training in?
So I'm licensed as a massage therapist. I learned something called muscle activation technique about 24 years ago, and I do my derivative of that. So over 24 years, you kind of figure out what you like about it and what you don't, and you change it and mold it. And it's worked incredibly well.
Okay. So this would be great, Ellie. So make sure you got a pen and paper, because we're getting ready to lay down the good stuff here. All right. So when it comes to offers, you've had a lot of people coming in. The one thing we really want to highlight is this right here. One thing. And I want to highlight that a lot of people really struggle with the niche, the N word, and it can be very scary. But the niche is nothing more than the focus of a single marketing campaign. It's not what you do for the rest of your life. So where Mark has got people coming in for chronic pain, my next question for Mark is going to be, what kind of chronic pain? Because chronic pain, I don't know if you know this, if you go out there and you say, I help people with chronic pain, do you know what's probably going to happen? Not much.
Yeah.
Not much. And do you know why?
Too broad.
Yes. It is what they call a platitude. It's like altitude, but platitude, P-L-A-T-itude. You look it up on Google and that's how you spell it. Platitude. Basically, what a platitude's formal definition is, it means different things to different people. So what chronic pain would mean for me, which I've had chronic back pain in my lower back, that's like my genetics on my dad's side. Chronic pain for Ellie is something different. She's had digestive disorders. So if I go out there and we try to write an ad for Mark saying, hey, I can help you with chronic pain, it's probably going to fall flat. But because now I know your background and what you're doing, it's like, I'm going to guess people are probably coming to you most likely for musculoskeletal pain. Okay. And what would you say would be the tendency? Are you seeing in knees, back, neck? Like, what do you see like more frequent than anything else?
More frequent than anything else, back.
Back. Okay. Back pain, lower back pain, upper back pain, or just a mix?
Mostly lower back pain.
Lower back pain.
But I see everything. But if you said, what do I see the most? It'd be low back pain.
Lower back pain, men or women, or mix?
Mix.
Mixed. Okay. Any certain age groups?
Average probably between 40 and 60.
All right, cool. So what we just did is we now have Mark's offer. So if we're going to get out there and we're going to build an advertising campaign, we're going to focus on lower back pain between the 40 and 60-year-old crowd. That's going to be his offer. That's what I would suggest. Mark, does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
You bet.
Okay, so we put that together. Now, just out of curiosity, if I come to you and I've got my lower back pain, what's your pricing look like?
$125 an hour.
$125 an hour. And how many sessions does it normally take for me to work with you to make sure that I don't have to come see you anymore?
That depends on how long you've had the low back pain, your age, your health. So again, it varies, but so rarely am I going to say I'm going to fix you in 4 sessions
Right.
or something like that. We do have people that come into me that are very chronic, and I will say we do a special for 8 sessions where you get 8 sessions for the price of 7.
Okay.
And so for people that fit into that category, I'll let them know that. And for the people that don't, I go, listen, if I've got a pretty good idea that it's not going to take them very long, I don't offer them that package and I have them pay by the session.
Okay. All right.
Not a very good business practice overall, but it works.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So curiosity, like what's the average sales per person in a 12-month period?
Per person?
Yeah. Average cash flow
I
per
guess
person.
if I were to guess, I would go $600.
$600. Okay. My suggestion would be we lead with back pain, which will bring people in.
Right.
But we have to be very, very careful because if people see that you're an LMT, they are immediately going to commoditize you with things like what's LA, what's the place down the street that does the cheap massages for $45?
Massage Envy.
Massage Envy. He knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. They're gonna commoditize you with Massage Envy.
Right.
Now, I'm not knocking on Massage Envy. I've been there, like they were literally across the street from our shop when we had our retail center. So we visited a lot because we were working like 90 hours a week and that was the only relief we could get. But they are not at the same level as what Mark's doing. So when we're out there and we're marketing and we're getting ready to launch a new thing, here's what people do not want. They do not want to buy massage therapy. They do not want to buy health coaching. They don't want to buy life coaching. They don't want to buy preventative medicine. They don't want to buy functional medicine. They don't want to buy a nutritionist. They don't want to buy any of that. But what they will pay for is what that stuff gives them. It's a big difference. So Mark, what I would suggest doing is thinking about is positioning your offer as a benefit versus a modality.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
And so what happens when somebody doesn't have back pain?
They get to live their life freer and easier.
But let's get more specific. Let's go backwards. So sorry, I've got back pain. What can I not do?
Right. So you find out what that limits them from doing. Right. So it doesn't allow you to enjoy your life.
Tell me more. Why not? What can I do?
Because it's going to prevent you from being able to do things like play golf as often as you want to, or go out and do the things you love,
give me some more details on what do I love? What am I missing out on?
Golf, skiing, tennis, activities with your family, playing with your kids.
All right. Do you see what I'm doing with Mark, everybody? Because when he says you can go out and do the things you love, does that resonate with you? No, but if I go out there and I write an ad saying, hey, if you want to get back to playing your A game in golf and shaving 5 strokes off your game, come see me. I can help get that back pain under control so you get your stroke back. All of a sudden, people are like, oh, Mark is the golf guy. I can go hang out with Mark. Does that make sense, everybody? So when we're out there and we're creating our offer, we really want to get specific. Now, I'm going to throw a couple other things out there, Mark, for you to digest.
Sure.
Because I've had back pain. You can't get out of bed and go to the bathroom.
Right.
You can't get off the floor, depending on how bad it is. You can get in a car, but you can't get out of the car. You can't tie your shoes.
Sure.
Right. So these are all the things that we would use in an offer to explain. And when you can explain and describe the problem better than the person can, they automatically want to work with you. So that's where we're going to create a really, really powerful offer. Now, as pricing goes, if you guys are open to it, who's open to doing a quick pricing exercise? Just raise your hands in front of them. All right, cool. Let's say, I'm going to call this guy Adam, because I want to use my own story. Let's say Adam, it's about 15, 20 years ago, and Adam is popping 250 pounds. That was me. Got chronic back pain, can't tie his shoes, can't do anything. Is about to lose his job, just got out of divorce because of his back pain, and he's just not feeling good. It's all stress related. He's overweight, he's on antidepressants, and he comes to Mark. And Mark, he comes to Mark, you know, he's feeling better after the first session, but let's say after a month or two, he's like, oh my gosh, Mark, thank you so much. I don't know if I told you this, but I was about ready to just have to give up on my job. One, I was in so much pain. I wasn't productive, let alone sitting in a chair, and a white collar job just couldn't work for me. So I just want to say thank you so much. In fact, I feel so much better that I actually went for a promotion that I was just going to bypass because I knew I could do it, and I got it. Thank you. And in fact, I'm feeling better that my relationship with my person that I was getting ready to get divorced with is now better. Thank you. And in fact, the spark that was gone, let's just say it's back. I am king of the boardroom at work, and I'm king of the bedroom at home because of you. What would you say it's worth to give that man that kind of power back for the rest of his life?
It's hard to put a price on that.
Exactly. I mean, it's priceless, right?
Yeah.
You can't measure that. So that's how we know you can articulate your price. So you're easily getting 3 to 5K flat fee upfront for if you're helping people really get rid of chronic back pain.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
absolutely.
That's where I go with that. Any questions on the offer or the price? Eléa.
I think what's important here is, you know, I want everybody to thinking about how does this conversation relate to how you can get more conversions for those of you that are looking to convert more people. But then also, if you're just getting started, why is this important? Why is this an important piece to include in your marketing plan? Right. And the other thing that I really want to nuance is that you can do ads for different people and bring them into the same offer. So for example, with Mark, maybe it's looking at, okay, I'm going to do an ad for golfers and I'm going to do an ad for runners, and I'm going to bring them in and service them possibly in the same way. But again, the message is really tailored for them. So I think what's also really important whenever we talk about like being that specific in a message, a lot of times people are like, well, I don't know if I just want to do golfers, but I want to do runners too, or I want to do all these other people. How can I do that? There's several different ways, but probably one of the easiest is just making sure that your runners are seeing your message and your golfers are seeing the message. And this can happen either on social media or even in your email lists. So those of you that have an email list and you're trying to get more conversions, I want you to think about, can I segment my list in any way so that the messages that I'm sending out are less broad and more tailored to the people who are on my list? And then that will give me more conversions because I'm actually going, oh yeah, I know this client is a golfer and this client is a golfer. This client is a runner. So maybe I need to look at my email list and kind of separate them out by pain points. Oh, this is knee pain. This is back pain. Oh, this is, this is runners. This is not.
And so what Ellie is doing here is an exercise that we call micro niching. And that is you kind of pick your overall thing. And if you're in the health and wellness space, it really is as simple as like, I help people with back pain. Like that's your niche. But then what we can do is to make it, because a lot of people have back pain and sometimes it's enough. But if you really want to become the expert and be able to increase your sales per patient, per client coming in and increase that lifetime value and annual, revenue, then we micro niche. And it doesn't take a lot, but what we want to do is we want to say, okay, all right, who is it? What is this preventing them to do? What would they like to do? Is there some type of hidden gem in there? It's like, okay, we've got golfers 40 to 60. And then what we want to go and look at is like, are there at least 1 million people in the lower 48 states, United States, that are golfers that probably have back pain? And that answer is a big fat yes. That is a big fat yes for that one. I know, because it used to be in corporate. And that was like, that's how they got outside, was to go from not moving to being outside, not moving in a golf cart. That was their exercise. So let's bring Sonia into the mix here, because Sonia, you've got an existing practice too, and you've got a product going on. So as far as like marketing your wellness services and your product, what has worked well for you? Oh, don't forget to unmute. Oh, and let's see here. Hey, Sonia, don't forget to unmute.
Better?
There you go. Yep.
Good. I found that my website is really good. I'm quite happy with that. But I have the best response through Instagram so far. And I have to mention here that I've got over 35 years of experience, but I'm new to Naples. I'm new. I just moved here. I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends. And I started my business, like a new business as well. So that to me was a little bit of a challenge. And it's slowly but surely happening. But I just wanted to know, like I've said, Instagram so far, I had the best response, but I really, really would like to get people through the door and create that. So.
Okay. And may I ask, on Instagram, are you just posting? Are you running ads? What are you doing?
I'm running ads.
Okay, so you are running ads.
Mainly.
So you're actually using Meta's Facebook platform, or basically the Meta advertising account manager, but you're only running ads on Instagram.
Exactly.
And you're running ads for your products or for your wellness center?
For the wellness center, for the service.
Okay. And what would you say, do you know what your cost per acquisition is? Like, what does it cost for you to get a new client from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, that is quite, it is quite costly.
Do you know what it is? I'm just curious, like, how much are you spending to get a new client and how much money are you making off of them?
At the moment, it's costing me around about, I would say, for marketing on or advertising on Instagram, as well as Facebook, of course, and so forth. I'm using a marketing company, and it's costing me over $2,000 a month.
Okay.
So far, I've not. Yeah,
All right. So you've got $2,000 a month to a marketing company. And how many clients are you getting from this marketing company?
I would say about 2, maybe one client a week.
A week. Okay. Mm-hmm. So is it safe to say if you're spending $2,000, your cost per acquisition is around $500 per new client?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your annual revenue per client?
I would say about $800.
Okay. So basically your profit margin is less than 50%. We're talking about 35 to 40%. So you're making $300 for that. Okay.
Yeah.
And when they're coming to see you, what are they coming to see you for? So kind of the same question I had for Mark. It's like, what is the specific things that you're helping people with? Like, what's the common denominator?
Mm-hmm. So I'm treating everything. And I started lately focusing on menopause. So I thought I need to have a niche. I have to focus on one specific thing, but then it is quite difficult because with iridology, and luckily for me, it's very new. I don't have any competitors in my area. And that gives an overall analysis of what's going on in the body. And I feel that when people experience that, it points out inherited weaknesses and so forth, but it is very generalized.
Okay.
And I just decided I need to focus on a few things and maybe market that.
Okay. And so are your ads geared towards menopause?
Just say again.
The ads that you're running on Instagram, is the copy, is the headline, are they geared towards menopausal women?
No,
they're not. Okay.
No, so far it's just being very broad on the wellness center, iridology, and the services that I offer. So through just listening to what you were saying, I can recognize the mistakes that I'm making.
Okay. So it's not like anybody's taught us how to do this stuff, right?
It's too broad.
Yeah. So broad. I mean, again, you can get out there and you can say, hey, I do massages like Mark does, and he'll get people in, but he's going to be trading time for money, right? He's going to have to prove to them that he's worth more than Massage Envy. He's going to have to really, really work for that. Just like you can get out there and you can And people will come to you if you have a sophisticated buyer. So write these two terms down: unsophisticated and sophisticated. There's not a good or bad thing about them. There's two different markets with everybody in the health and wellness industry. An unsophisticated person is somebody who has a problem, but doesn't know what to do about it.
Where to start.
Where to start, right? A sophisticated person knows what to do. For instance, if I got my blood test back and my A1C was 5.6 and I knew I was pre-diabetic, I would go right away and go find a functional medicine doctor that specialized in insulin. That's sophisticated. And so every market has unsophisticated, sophisticated people. And so that's where we want to really kind of like determine who is it that is going to be in our audience that is going to be hearing our message. So when we're creating the offer. So for you, definitely, menopause is strong right now. And I'll tell you guys, I'm going to let you in a little streak it like and I mean this in a loving way. There are 3 hot areas in the health and wellness space, right? Most people go to weight loss, which it is weight loss and fatigue are the 2 most common things people deal with right now in the United States. But the hot areas are going to be diabetes, hormones, and sexual dysfunction. Of course, menopause falls into hormones and sexual dysfunction. And so if you're able to get into one of those, and I will say, that's going to be from a disease standpoint, from a dysfunction standpoint, joint pain, back pain, knee pain, and back pain are the other 2 big ones. Because for a lot of people, especially sitting all the time, they have completely elongated their ligaments in the back, and it's all wacky. Plus, they have a crappy lifestyle, and everything's kind of falling in there. All right, so marketing from your Instagram thing. If you were going to keep your price at $800, then I would definitely work on lowering that cost per acquisition. I would want that cost of acquisition to be around 100 to 150 max. I want to increase my profit margin. And I would do that by really focusing in on, and I would go for hormone imbalances / menopause, but be very, very careful because now we're entering the taboo space.
Exactly.
And so you just so you all know, there's a very good chance if you use the word menopause in a paid advertisement, you're going to get declined.
Yeah.
The powers that be, they want our money, but they don't want to market the stuff that we want to help people with.
Right.
So there's
Exactly.
So there are a couple ways to bypass it as far as like how do I market a taboo offer? For instance, if you're using, let's go erectile dysfunction, which is a big no-no. You abbreviate it, E period, D period. And then you turn it to Ed, right? And then you take the copy and the ad, you say, we all know what happens when Ed shows up to the party. And then you kind of like spill down that way. If you are in the menopausal space, one trick around it is you can take menopause and you can go MEN-OH-pause. You can also go me-no pause anymore. So there are some ways that you can bypass the filters to really get your message out there. But you're going to want to write some really powerful copy that resonates because there's a lot of competition right now in the digital space in every industry out there. And what I would suggest doing is creating a unique mechanism. Yeah. Makes sense?
Yeah, that is quite tricky because I also offer Brain Tap, which is specifically for mental health and mental fitness. So that is a huge market as well to tap into. And so I've got two things that I really want to focus on.
Got it. Perfect. And guys, I'm going to put a link into the box right now. Move, think, smile. Can't remember the name of my own company sometimes. It's movethinksmile.com/impact. There's a video over there that's a really cool 13-minute thing that Ellie and I did that talks about magic pill seekers versus impact seekers. And what we want you guys to do is when we get out there and we try and market wellness centers and massage therapy and we price our stuff as trading time for money and billable hours and procedures and stuff like that, we tend to attract the person, what we call the magic pill seeker. They'll pay you. They'll show up and they'll pay you, but they typically don't become long-term clients. and their lifetime value, the annual sales per person is usually a lot lower versus like the impact seeker. So if you've seen any of our stuff, we talk about magic pill seekers versus impact seekers. And of course, if you all ever need help implementing this stuff, feel free to reach out to Ellie and I, we'll be happy to chat with you, see what kind of possibilities are. But let's kind of check in with Martha real quick. So Martha, so getting out there and marketing, it's your favorite.
Right. Well, I've marketed before because I've been in sales. My background's financial professional. And so the hobby that I had, or the interest I have now, is wellness. And the problem that I saw was that people plan for retirement, they plan for money issues, but the sad thing is they don't plan for their health.
Right.
I was going to work with older people, but then after doing research, I discovered that the 30 to 50-year-olds were the ones that spend the money and really more interested in getting healthy and staying healthy because they don't want to end up like their parents.
Yeah.
My dad had Alzheimer's, and I was the sandwich generation, had teenagers at home and had a dad I had to look after. So I'm not really after a pain point per se, but more on I don't think people are doing enough about preventative. And so my modality is using DNA and blood work and customizing, helping people with their history, their DNA, looking at that and their blood work, because when they go to the doctor, they get about 20 minutes. They spend more time in the waiting room. Doctor might say, take this, take that. But my mantra is, your health is really up to you. You've spent 20 minutes in the doctor's office. What are you going to do the rest of the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should be able to go into the doctor and say, no, I want to do this. I want to do that. I mean, I've had to challenge my doctor on several things, even with the blood work, based on my genes. I said, I need to take a look at what's going on in my blood work. And so marketing, though, it's trying to tell as many people as possible. I'm not afraid of social media. I'm not afraid of email marketing. I've just got to have a better system and a better plan or strategy to do it.
Okay. And what have you used any marketing recently? Have you tried anything, or is this just completely?
It's hit and miss.
Okay.
I've did a challenge and got a pretty good response to it. I had 30 people sign up for it, which I was surprised. But then there was the conversion problem, because that was really messy. People really like using you. I mean, I do that too. But then, when you ask people to pay you money, so looking for those people that are willing to take care of themselves. People say they eat healthy and they don't. People believe they spend money on themselves, but really it's a haircut and a massage. I'm sorry, the one that does massage.
No offense to Mark, yeah.
Yeah, but non-sophisticated massage.
Yeah.
And they consider that being healthy, but it's a constant thing to do. And so my coaching program, I have a membership that I'm working on, but then also want the one-to-one customer, because that's going to pay more. But I know you just said at the beginning, one offer, and I'm thinking, okay, one offer membership or the one-to-one. When you have a high ticket item, that takes a lot longer, perhaps, to get the interest in someone that'll actually pay.
Well, actually, let's speak to that. Ellie's got her hand raised, so I want her to speak first, and then we'll get right to that.
Well, go ahead, Adam. You continue, but I do want to ask about the marketing plans for everybody in a minute. So I guess wrap that up, and then we'll move to the marketing.
Yeah. Okay.
Question.
So, I want everybody to take the term high ticket, and I want you to throw it in the trash can.
Okay.
What I want you to do is I want you to replace it with high impact.
Okay. I like that word.
Okay. So high ticket, low ticket puts the focus on the business bank account. We want the focus to be 100% on the person suffering who needs our help. They have a disease, they have a dysfunction, they have a physical, mental, or emotional health problem. Usually it's a combination of all three, but one of them will lead the way. It will either be physical, and if it's back pain in Mark's case, I can tell you right now, there's depression and or anxiety underneath all that stuff. Absolutely, which is also causing mental problems, cognitive problems, productivity problems. It all goes together, right? That's why we call it holistic and integrative, right? Everything kind of goes together. So, But think about, and you don't, and nobody has to do a high impact price. You don't have to, but I really want to highlight something that think about this. According to the Center of Disease Control in Atlanta, right now, somebody in America is spending out of their pocket 16,750 years just to manage disease and dysfunction in our traditional healthcare system and not getting to the root cause of the problem. If you have a $5,000 offer, not only did you just give that person all the cool stuff that we talked about that was priceless, but you just saved them $12,000 in the first year, even if they have health insurance. That's a very powerful number. And if you can get in, you can help somebody to where the next 5 or 10 years, their body is in homeostasis and it's operating on its full potential, you just put 150 grand back into that person's pocket. So when you learn how to communicate your true value, and you can show the people that come into your lead magnets, right? Because a challenge is a lead magnet, is what it does. You got to be careful with the lead magnets though, because you will attract freebie seekers, right? You'll attract the freebie seekers, the people who aren't serious about moving and doing anything. But a good lead magnet will actually attract an impact seeker. So there are some people out there will say challenges are great. Some people out there will say challenges suck. And they're both right. It depends on how you run the challenge and how you position the challenge and how you take people through the challenge of who it attracts in. And this is the same with any lead magnet. It could be a webinar, it could be a workshop, it could be a low ticket gateway offer that's $27, or it could just be a free seminar. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're attracting in the people who are serious about doing what they need to do. And that's going to be through powerful messaging. When you do that, and then you can communicate and help them see what it is they need to do and that they're going to save this money, it becomes an offer so good, they feel stupid saying no. And those are the immortal words of Alex Hormozi, if anybody follows that guy. Right? So an offer so good that people feel silly saying no. So when you can show them that not only can I take the pain away and put money back into your pocket, that is when they want to enroll. And that's when you can get them into the other side. You can get them in for $800 if you want. You get them for $125 an hour you want. I would say if you really want to bring in an impact seeker and have a good lifetime value and have really good impact with people, you go for a high impact price. Eléa.
Yeah. And Adam and I, we actually talk a lot about both ticket. So if you've been in the, consuming marketing material, you're going to hear high ticket, low ticket, lots of opinions about it. Some people bashing it, some people liking it all over the place. But really what we have really seen in our business and in other businesses as well is there is space for both. And it's really about figuring out where your client is or your patient is on the timeline of illness. And high ticket can be very powerful when we're talking about someone who has a big pain point. It's been going on for a long time. They are really ready to make some changes. They are really like they've had enough is enough and they are invested. And then when they invest at a high level, they tend to really show up and do the work and be attentive. But then you have other people where they're on that timeline where they're having health issues, but it's just a little annoying. It's just a little bothersome. It's just, it's kind of like nagging at them, but they're not super serious. And so you won't always convert them into a high impact offer, but it's powerful to have both in your business. And again, like we said, any marketing strategy can work. It's about the nuances that you're putting into those marketing strategies that are really going to help you get the results. Because I can't tell you the number of times we work with people where they say like, oh, I tried marketing, it didn't work. I tried challenges, it didn't work. And when we go back and dig deeper and we really look at the data and we start to look at, okay, what are the little nuances here of follow-up and or marketing and or, a whole list of things, we start to see that was it that it really didn't work? Or is it that there wasn't enough here to really give it legs to let it grow? Right. And to really make it be healthy. So one thing too, I want everybody to kind of put in the chat box, I've heard a lot of people say, I need a marketing plan. But for you, what does that really mean? Because a marketing plan, is in general can be very broad. So it's like when you think about, I need a marketing plan, what is it that you specifically see that you need? Is it like, I need timelines. I need to know how social media works. I need, month by month, or I need, give us some insight into what that means for you. And you can just put that in the chat box as we kind of move along here.
And when Ellie is talking about low ticket, high ticket, we call it both ticket. I want you to think of this not from a marketing standpoint, but I want you to think about it from your business in sales. Because most people in the health and wellness space get so wrapped up in new client acquisition that when that falls down and dips down, you're scrambling to keep the business above water. And so it's really important to look at, what do I have already in place? What acres of diamonds do I have right now to where I don't have to go and create anything new? I just might need to repackage it so I can have, obviously, a high impact offer. It's what we all want. 2 to 3 clients a month at 10 grand. We make 30 grand. We're all happy, right? That's what we all want. In some months it works like that. In some months it doesn't. That's the honest truth. So in the months that it doesn't, you want to make sure that you have some type of continuity way to get money coming back in. And there are several ways to do this. And this is all going back to marketing, right? For your company. And that is, one, when you work with people, have something to offer them at the end. Because if I come back, if I go to Mark, I'm like, dude, man, you fixed my back. I'm great. I'm going to go away unless I think he's got something that can take me to the next level. Right? So I want to have a continuity thing. Also, it is good to have those lower priced items because there are people. Here's something, if you haven't realized this yet, we had the most expensive holiday season ever in the history of me living anyways, right? Go look at your credit card bills from gifts for buying at Christmas and everything else that was going on through the holidays. It was nuts. We have inflation. I don't know who's talking about 10%. I'm seeing 30 and 40% price hikes on stuff. Like, things are doubling. It's crazy what's happening. And so people are more skeptical. They're holding onto their money and they are very more cautious. Plus, as amazing as the internet is and allows us to do things like this and talk to people all over the planet, because of that, some random dude living in his mom's basement is out there creating offers on ClickFunnels and is making $1 million, but unable to fulfill. And so those people are now burned out and are feeling burned and taken advantage of. And so they're skeptical of us. And so what we need to do is we need to make sure our marketing strategy encompasses 2 things. You guys write this down. We have the people who need help now. This is the people motivated to get away from a pain, right? I've got a migraine headache. Please help me get it away. This is what we call a direct strategy. Your ad is literally like, hey, if you've got migraine headaches and the medical doctor in the hospital can't help you out, click here. I might be able to help. It's really that simple. They click. There's a video of you. You explain how you're different, your unique mechanism. Boom. You talk to them. $5,000 in your pocket. You fix them. They're happy. No more headache. And no more wasting time and money on the healthcare system that's not helping them. That's a direct offer. That works with people who have what we call the terrible stage of the problem. So if we use back pain, if I'm just kind of walking around, I'm kind of hunched over, that's bad. I got back pain, but I can still do stuff. If I had to swing a golf club, I could. Then we've got the one where it's like, oh man, it's so hard to get out of the car. I can't play golf today. That's worse. And then you have the one where I can't get off the floor. I literally cannot get off the floor. I cannot make it to the bathroom. That's terrible. And so when we do direct offers, we want to think about our marketing strategy first in terms of at what point in the pain cycle are they? At what point in the readiness cycle are they? And it's important to understand that we have this thing called the product adoption life cycle. So if you guys ever take an economics course or marketing way back in college, if you even remember it, you've got the early adopters and you've got the late people. So like the new iPhone 25 comes out next year, I'm dumb. I'll go or the new peptide. The new peptide comes on the market. It says, oh, this will make you live forever. I'm like, I'm dumb. I'll try it. I'm an early adopter, right? People like my dad will sit there and watch it for 35 years before he gets the iPhone. That's now the iPhone 7. Way super old, right? So an example would be diabetes. Let's say someone has a blood sugar of 5.7, which is pre-diabetic. But for most people, they've normalized it. It's not bad. I mean, it's bad, but I can take care of it. I don't need to do anything. If that came back, to me, that'd be the worst, terrible phase of the problem because I know what's coming. So it's also hitting people at the mentality. And you will hear this phrase used a lot, which can be powerful, but there's a better way to do it. And the phrase is sell them what they want, then give them what they need. Sell them what they want, then give them what they need. But what we're finding, Eléa, it's more powerful to get them to want what they need in your marketing. If you can get the person to want what they need, then your conversion process on the backside is so much easier. Is this making sense, everybody? So in your marketing, and it doesn't matter if you're doing it in an ad, it doesn't matter if you're doing it through a course and a low ticket gateway item, but during that process, you want to shift their mindset to get them to want what they need. And when they do that, saying yes to do becomes a no-brainer. So going back to marketing strategy. So direct, that's the first one. The second one, we're going to put 2 letters in front of that word, I-N, indirect. And this is going to be where most of us are going to, if we want to maximize the revenue for a company, we're going to want to have both. Somebody who's got a pain who wants to get rid of it now does not need to sit through a challenge. They don't need your lead magnets. They don't need your PDFs. They don't want any of that crap. They just want help now. So you want to make sure you have a system set up that does that. The easiest system out there is an ad to like an opt-in page with a video to your buy. And your buy is going to be either you can do a no-call close, which is very possible to do, but typically in the health and wellness space, it's a good idea to make sure that you talk or somebody on your team talks to the person first to make sure that you're going to enjoy working with them. Because if you don't do that, people will purchase your stuff and it will become a nightmare. And it will suck all the living happiness you have left in your body right now. And so you want to be really careful about that. So ad, video, call. It's what we call the impact funnel. Very, very simple. Doesn't mean it's easy. Just means it's simple. Indirect. This is where things get complex real quick if we're not careful. Indirect means we're going to trade something of value at a very, very low cost. I would highly encourage people to not do free stuff. To not do free stuff in the health and wellness space. Because that's where you're going to get all the freebie people coming in, like Martha did. And you get all these people coming in challenge. She got 30 people signed up, but then it's a nightmare to get them and it becomes really messy on the backside to get them to buy anything. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $7. And I'll give you the secret right now. $27 is the magic number. It is because it's an impulse buy. So if you can create some type of a gateway offer, think of it like a gateway drug. It's exactly what it is. They are literally but they're paying you something. Once somebody pays you something, they have enough interest and trust in what they want to do, come in, wow them, right? And it makes it so much easier to convert them to the backside. Now, Tao, he's out there, he's got his course and he's bringing people in. And so we'll talk about that in a second. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to the health and wellness side of things, you can maximize your revenue, you can maximize your profits if you have both. You want to hit the people who've got a pain, they want to get rid of it, and you want to hit the people who are so skeptical and sketched out from the inflation to everything else there and all the other internet marketers that are doing their thing and not delivering, that they need to warm up to you. They still want help. They're still clicking on your stuff. And give them a way to warm up, but only take in the serious people. Give them to give you $1. At least $1. And you'll be amazed at what happens. Now, as far as marketing strategy goes, I mean, we got 2 areas. We got paid ads and we've got organic. So I think it was like Joanne and Diane, a lot of people were talking about, not wanting to do social media. And if you guys, if Diane and Joanne if you're there, I know you got your cameras off. If you are there, put your camera back on so we can see you and unmute and let's chat. If not, then I'll just keep going because I'd like to hear a little bit more about it. Eléa?
Yeah, I was going to say, one thing. So I asked the question, and thank you for those that put your 2 cents in the chat box about marketing strategy. And what I really heard today from this group is exactly the first thing you said, Adam, which is like a paid ad strategy is what a marketing, plan is for them. But the other one that I've heard a lot of is, okay, there are so many marketing options, so many plans I could choose from. I could do organic, paid. Do I do workshops? Do I do challenges? Do I do all of these different strategies that you hear about online. So the other thing is how to know which one to choose for your business for where it is right now. And then knowing when you should give up on a strategy and try a new one. So I think those are, you know, three really great distinctions that you guys put in the chat box.
Yeah. So a true marketing plan is where we're mapping out the journey. So most people think marketing is something that we do to somebody. Marketing is a process. It's a journey that you take somebody on. So think of it, if you've ever been hiking or you've gone to a national park, right? That's what Ellie and I love to do. Go to national parks. You've never been to Big Bend. You're in the middle of the desert. Everything looks the same. If you don't follow the trail markers, guess what happens? You get lost real fast and you get thirsty real fast. Your exposure time is limited to maybe 24 hours and you're done. So you pay attention to the trail markers. Don't get lost. It is our responsibility as the business owner and the marketer to lay out very easy to find trail markers on our marketing journey. We want people to consume a piece of content that is enticing enough to get them to want to consume the next piece, and then the next piece, and then the next piece. Think of it, a piece of copy, right? An ad. Let's say it's 500 words long. We want the next sentence to be good enough for people to want to read the next sentence, for that to be good enough for them to read the next sentence, if you know what I mean. We want to give them very visible trail markers along the line. And this goes back to your marketing strategy, because marketing strategy is more than just doing a paid ad or doing organic. It is the revenue cycle and the life fuel for your company. We want to lay out, where is the cash flow going to come from? Where do I have the best propensity, the best opportunity to actually not only have an impact with the people that I'm serving, but also have income coming in and a free time to enjoy it? Because if you're changing someone's lives, we believe you deserve to enjoy life too. So that marketing plan, that marketing strategy, before we even determine if it's organic or paid, we need to first ask the question, and I'll ask Diane, it's like, do you understand the difference between paid and organic and what the pros and cons are? Oh, you just muted yourself.
No, I would love some clarification on that.
Okay. So it's a very simple distinction. Paid ads, the pro is they work really fast. The con is it takes money. Organic.
Yeah.
Organic, the pro is doesn't take any money. The con is it takes a buttload of your time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard to come up with content, right? Like you have to, where do you get the content? What do I post today? How do you show up consistently? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
too. Well, also remember, a lot of people, and what Diane, her definition of organic marketing is doing content marketing, posting stuff all day long, building an audience, getting people to follow you, that kind of thing. That is one. Remember, organic basically means free, no budget. And there are a lot of ways to do organic marketing without needing to post content every day. There are things you can do where you can network with people, you can get into groups, there's all kinds of ways to do it. But I can tell you right now, organic strategies are soul sucking. They take a long time. They can be very, very powerful, but they do take consistency. You do not have to post every day, but if you're going to use more of an organic strategy, like a lot of you people have come into our group, we've got that marketing support group that you guys came into. That's an organic strategy. Well, actually, it's a hybrid. It's paid to get. We have paid ads out there to get people into the group. Let them know we have it, but then we nurture everybody and we show everybody. We help everybody. Let them know that we're real people, that you can trust us. That we live in Charleston, South Carolina. We put our phone number and everything, so you can find us. We're real human beings.
Yeah. So, Adam, just a quick segue, So are health fairs and things like that, networking and groups, is that a thing, or is that just not worth time?
It depends, right? It really depends. One, when we're doing a health fair, I always like to look at, okay, who's putting on the health fair and how are they marketing it? That's the first question I ask, because I want to know who's going to be showing up to this thing.
Right.
Are my potential prospects literally going to be there, and are going to be enough of them for me to walk away with at least enough revenue to justify me spending all the time and planning getting here? So if you look at yourself and you should use $500 an hour, you're a business owner, you should put your value at $500 an hour. If it takes you if it takes you 10 hours to get ready for a health fair, you just put $5,000 in it. Now, some health fairs are inexpensive. Sometimes they're free. Sometimes they cost money. So then you have to put the cost of the fuel and everything else. Let's say you spend $6,000 on this health fair. If you do have a high impact offer and let's say it's at $3,000, and if you can walk away, you're going to want to walk away with 3 clients in order to hit 9K in order to call it, profitable.
Right. Well, the reason why I asked is I had a holistic chiropractor approach me to do, this sort of thing, and to also do some speaking engagements. And I don't know, I didn't really, I wasn't ready. So that was my question, if it was just worthwhile as far as financially and to serve, to get in a space where, yes, others, you can serve them and make money, right? That's what we want to do. We want to serve and help and make money.
Yeah. So what I would say is I would look at who's putting on the health fair.
A chiropractor, a holistic chiropractor.
Okay. Holistic chiropractor. Are they charging you?
I don't believe that one was. No, that one was.
Okay. So here's how I look at it. When you have free events like that, I would take advantage of them with this one goal, not to get clients. That's a bonus if you get them, but to be able to get out there and practice your new positioning.
So my elevator pitch.
Basically your elevator pitch. But you want to be able to, but when you talk to people, you want to empower them using life coaching techniques and Socratic methods to ask you to tell them about what you do. Right?
Right.
So you don't say, hey, I'm Diane, I'm a health coach and I help people lower their A1C. Do you know anybody who lowers their A1C? You can do that. And that might work. But you want to be super tight and you want to be super succinct. But typically when you start the conversation, you're going to want to, this is a conversion process, right? You're going to ask them, it's like, hey, yeah, it's good to meet you. It's like, yeah, how things kind of take 90 seconds to build rapport. And then they'll ask, and then just wait for them to ask you something. Like, yeah, so what is it you do? And it's like, well, I help people get rid of migraine headaches without needing medication.
Yeah. And we need to stop saying, and what do you do? Like, that's like it's gotta be a more, I don't know, fluffy way. Like that always
whether it is, you don't ask that's what they would say to you, right? You won't go up to people asking what they do. What you'll do is you'll want to have a great health fair will be, you'll just have a simple table. You'll have your little poster board sign and it says, I help people lower their A1C naturally. Right?
Yeah.
And that would be like, boom, that'll get people coming up and you'll say, hey, yeah, I'm Diane. Just out of curiosity. It's like, okay, so I assume you have diabetes or pre-diabetic. Like, yeah. It's like curious, what's your A1C one out right now? Oh, it's at 7.2. It's like, okay, how long's it been there? If you don't mind me asking. Well, yeah, I've been pre-diabetic for 5 years and it was hovering at about 6.4 and it just it went up to 7.2 about 6 months ago. It's like, oh, wow, 6 months ago. So you've had some insulin resistance for a little while now, huh? Yeah. Well, tell me more about that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And start the conversation.
Yeah, and I like where you're going. I like where you're going with that because the fact I can bring in, a lot of people don't even know when I just tell them I'm a nurse coach, they're like, oh, so you coach other nurses? I'm like, no, I'm like, so a lot of people just don't even realize. Because I'm a nurse, would you recommend me using that nursing experience? Like you gave the example for the A1C, would you recommend that be pulled into, like, would that be a niche? Would that be a funnel type?
Yeah. I mean, I said this earlier on. I'll say it again. Diabetes is hot.
What if it's not my passion?
Well, okay. Right now, I understand that. And I want to preface that. I was getting ready to do this. It's like a lot of people say, I don't want to do diabetes. And you don't have to. We do want you to enjoy it, but I do want you to think about this. We have a business that needs cash flow. So what we want is something that's going to be easy for people to say yes to, that we have a big problem out there in America. We also want to have something that when we're out of the gate, we can get really quick, big wins with our patients with and our clients.
Yeah.
With. Diabetes is one of those things. People
because, I mean, it's a metabolic. I mean, it's
Right.
just, it's all metabolic. So, I mean, as
Exactly.
a nurse,
It's easy to fix.
Mhm.
It's easy to
well,
fix.
it's simple. It's not easy, Adam.
Well,
Uh,
it's behavior change,
yeah. Yeah.
right? And that's
It's,
the
well,
heart.
it's lifestyle. It's modification. It's
Yes,
lifestyle. It's all the
exactly.
things.
And while we
Okay,
may live
cool.
in a
This-
little pink, I was gonna say
this
we live in
helped me
a
a
pink
lot.
bubble. Yeah, we live in a pink bubble of like whole foods and holistic care and all this kind of stuff. Most people don't realize how simple it is.
Yeah.
But the reason that, and even though they know they need to stop eating the carbs and they need to go and they think they need to go keto and they think they need to do all this and look at the macros, which we know is kind of right, but not really for the long term, right? Is that they don't understand that the hardest thing about change is not doing what I did yesterday. That's what Joe Dispenza says, not me. And that's where you really come in. So you do not have to do diabetes, but I can tell you right now, if you go to a public event and you mention the word insulin, at least 1 out of 2 people are going to raise their hand.
Yeah. No, and I know as a nurse, I see that. And then the menopause thing is, I'm a certified menopause coach too. I got
cool.
that. It's just a degree. I mean, it's just a piece of paper, right? You know, like it's not like
it doesn't matter.
But I have been kicked out of space. As soon as you say menopause, like people either are like, or they're like, nope. So that is kind of a weird space right now, the menopause thing. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to take up so much time.
No, you're good.
I appreciate all your time.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So just to put that out there. So if you want to go for menopause, Diane, that's another top one. So if you didn't want to do diabetes, you go for menopause. And here's what's in your favor is that every woman on the planet has to go through it.
Yeah.
So your market, as long as there's human beings, will always be there.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say about that. Women are secretly and silently suffering, Adam. And I'm not here to talk about how menopause is this huge thing, but it is a huge thing and we're suffering. I'm in the midst of it right now. And let me tell you, we are suffering and people are not addressing it. And again, it's just, I'm putting it out there. It's not anything, you know, Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Sorry I couldn't get on video. I was kind of in the middle of something here, feeding my chickens, doing all the things. So
no worries. Yeah, no worries. No, Ella's parents got chickens. We understand.
I know I'm chickens. And now I got to go feed the calves. So thank you so much. If I pop off here, I just wanted to give my appreciation for you both and your time.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. And Ella, you got your hand up. Real quick, I put a link in the box, guys. So if you do have to pop up, but you would like help with your marketing and or your sales to see what's possible, come over to movethinksmile.com/apply, and we'll be happy to chat with you. I hope you guys can see that we're pretty easy people to talk to. So we're not very pushy. So Ellie, she said menopause, you raised your hand.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing too that I want to add in is sometimes when we have offers like this, and what's coming to my mind is, so Move Think Smile was actually started on a burnout and fatigue offer. I wrote a book about burnout, being a business owner, and just feeling like I was so extremely exhausted from stress and working too much that I just basically hit the ground. And so when we started marketing, so I was really passionate about helping burnt out business owners like get their energy back and really like just be jazzed up about their business again and be able to have kind of more of like that work-life balance. And so we went out there pretty strong with ads talking about burnout for professionals. And what dawned on me, or what I realized, is that when I was going through what I now consider burnout, I actually would have not said that I was burnout, because I realized that most busy driven professionals, especially people who own their own business, are probably not going to raise their hand and say I'm burnt out, but they would say I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. And so what we realize is small nuances in how people define what they have going on with them is really important, because even though we talked about fatigue in the ads, we were still primarily talking about burnout. As soon as we pulled burnout out of the ads and we just started talking about fatigue, things shifted for us. So when it comes to something like menopause, and I know that a lot of women are struggling, and I know a lot of times it's like things that people don't want to talk about, or maybe they're not really thinking it's menopause, they're thinking it's something else. Well, what's the next step up the ladder? What do they think it is? And I can guarantee you that probably a lot of the women experiencing menopause are maybe willing to say that they're tired, right? Or maybe even, again, if you're trying to put ads out there speaking about a woman and what her age is and what her experience is and talking about how she's tired is a great way you're probably going to attract all women who are in the middle of menopause right now without saying the word menopause. So we can speak to what are the biggest symptoms that your clients and patients are experiencing, the ones that would make them reach out and get some help, right? So again, a lot of times we are often barking up the wrong tree, or we're thinking that something is wrong with our health because we don't understand what the real issue is, but we want to market them to what they think the problem is, and then be able to come in and enlighten them on that. So I really want everybody to think about that when it comes to your offers. And of course, talking about taboo things or talking about things where it's like, it feels like nobody wants to talk about this topic. It's like, okay, let's talk about it where they are willing to talk about it and then pull them into the deeper conversation after that.
Yeah.
It's making sense, everybody.
Yeah.
So Glenn, you having some insights here?
No, great information. It's making me think. I've been in sales most of my life, so I'm blessed to be able to have the gift of gab. I'm very comfortable in front of pretty much any audience, whether you're a billionaire who I've dealt with or you have $10 in the bank. But I've learned to treat everybody equally. I do have my elevator pitch written out. And I have my bullet points done, but I don't have anything more than that. But now this is it's really solid information and a lot of things to think about and a lot of directives on which way to go. I mean, it's just great information.
The main thing is you've got to, when it comes to the marketing strategy, do not pick a marketing strategy just because you think it's going to work.
Sure.
Like, do not buy into an advertising agency and do not buy a pre-done funnel. Do not do that. You are going to lose your shirt. You're going to become their personal ATM. We see it happen time and time again.
Now, I've seen it. These guys, they want $20,000 up front and they say, well, I'm just going to do this. They don't have any content. They don't have the time like that you're spending with me. They don't even have any of that. They're just give me this money and I'll do this for you. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, even if they did, and even if they did a good job at doing that thing for you, the question we need to ask is that the right thing for my audience and for my business and for me?
Correct. Diabetes is, I was talking with Ellie on the chat. Detoxification is my primary, but diabetes is my secondary.
Right on.
For my target audience.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what you guys want to kind of think about.
And I can do it now. It's just, I can't, as an integrative health practitioner level 1, I can't, I can recommend the functional medicine lab tests, but I can't read them to them without the certification.
Yep. Yeah, got it. All right, Elia, so let's bounce over to Tal.
I just wanted to, before we wrap up today, just talk a little bit more about conversions and the nuance of that. And Tal, and you can put this in the chat box. I believe Tal, we're having a conversation because I don't think I have another Tal that I've been talking to, but I just wanted to make sure, wanted to let you know, we got your email. We're going to be going through your stuff tonight, but I definitely think the conversation around conversions is important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance.
Tal, if you have audio, let us know. So I'd like to hear more about the course that you're selling and what your process is currently to convert them over.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we're talking tomorrow in more detail.
Okay. Yeah.
In general, this is a certification coaching. It's functional nutrition.
Okay.
And, so we're getting leads. We recently made some changes to the marketing flow, but what we're trying to do is, we got leads coming into a landing page. Essentially, we start an email campaign with emails that kind of nourishes and builds value. It's educational, and we offer them scholarships, discounts in the form of scholarship that they get. And what we're looking for is increasing the conversion of those leads, essentially.
Okay. And what is, just out of curiosity, can you tell me a little about the course that you're selling? What is it? It's a certification, you said?
Yep, it's a certification program.
Okay. And so this is basically a B2B offer. So you're taking people and you're giving them skills that they normally wouldn't have.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so some of them are healthcare practitioners, for example, nurses who want to learn more about functional nutrition and using herbal medicine, integrative medicine. And majority of them are the general public. So those are individuals that could be the stay-at-home mom that wants to learn more and, for health improvement and maybe offer coaching in her community. That could be, we have a retired police officer and other professionals that are coming in. So yeah, it's mostly general public.
Okay. General public. All right. In the certification nutrition. And what is your process right now from converting them from basically a course client into your back end? On the back end, what is your back end offer? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to do consulting, coaching? What are you doing with them?
So essentially they're coming in, in some cases, they'll come into one of our summits. So we have we just did a weight loss summit.
Okay.
So that was like a 1-day live with guest speakers, and they're coming in, they're paying for those for the summit. And then from there, we either try to ascend them into the full certification training, which is $3,600. Sometimes they're coming in from, let's say, Facebook ads directly into the funnel because they're interested in getting certified as a functional nutritionist. So essentially, they're all getting the same emails that introduce us to them, share some, a couple of testimonials, and build value. Give them the emails could be like the top 3 supplements for whatever, for treating diabetes, or the number 1 cause of diabetes that doctors don't talk about, right? So it's emails that are provoking interest. Most of them are very educational in nature.
Okay. All right. So let me make sure I understand correctly. So we've got out there, we're doing some marketing. They're coming in, they're paying for the summit or workshop. Is that correct?
Yes. So,
and then in the back end is we want to take that. We want to take the workshop, that the person that paid for the workshop, and then sell them the $3,600 certification.
Yes. So let's say they paid $49 or $95 for the summit, the day 1-day summit, and then they're coming into the funnel. And some of them, I would say, probably half of them, if not more, are coming in from just directly from Facebook ad. So they don't know us yet. That's where we have the email campaign.
Okay. All right. So for conversions, and so when somebody comes into the summit, how are you converting them? Are you just sending them emails? Are you making the offer at the end of the summit? Like, how does that work for you guys?
Yeah. So we typically send them an email campaign. So we get the scholarships, and they get the scholarships until the end of the month. Okay. And so they put in an application, of course. So they have to put in an application to qualify for that, and then we process it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask you a couple of data points. If you know them offhand, it'd be great. Or if not, just ballpark them. So out of every 100 people that pays to come to a summit, how many of them fill out an application?
Probably we're at about 10 to 15% on the application.
All right. So you're 10 to 15% application conversions. Out of the people that fill out an application, how many book a call?
So that's something the booking a call is something that the numbers were really low.
Okay.
I think it was basically 5%. So my team was saying 5% of the people that put in let's say 10 people or 20 people put in 5% of all the leads. So I don't know how that can be converted. It's probably half of the people. Yeah, probably half of the people. It's about 10% put in an application.
5% become book a call. And is that how you guys sell the top end $3,600? Is it a call or is it just a buy button?
Most of them will talk to them first.
Okay, you talk to them. Okay, got it.
Yep.
All right.
And so one thing that we recently changed something that increased our call rates is we took them in from the application page. Instead of taking them to testimonials, we took them directly to book a call. So that was like the thank you page. Essentially, we turned that into a book a call to finish up your application, and that increased our conversion rate. I don't have the numbers because we just recently do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got it. So basically, they go to the thing, they fill out the app, they go to a calendar page after where they can book the call, and we're roughly 5% of people total who come. Correct?
Yes, in general.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And out of the people who book a call, what is your conversion rate?
The conversion rate?
Yeah.
So that would typically be about a third of them will close.
Okay. So you're 30%.
Yes, 30% from the people who booked a call. What we're thinking about, what would be most beneficial is how we can figure out how to increase the rate of booking a call.
Yeah.
And of course, from there, the show up rate.
Yep. Got it. Okay. All right. So it sounds like we've got our sales process down. So our closers are doing their job. It sounds like you already handled one of the issues, and that's taking the application straight to the booking page, which is good. So without actually seeing the summit that you do, here's a couple of things that I could suggest that you may find really helpful. The first being, don't charge less than $100. What'll end up happening is you will have less people showing up, but you'll have higher quality people coming in. That's something that we've seen out there in the space that's working really well. In fact, people are doing like 2.5 hour workshops for $100 to $250. When they do them for less than $200, you still get tire kickers. Because to them, it's not much of a commitment. When they spend more than $100, they lay down a Benjamin, all of a sudden the commitment level changes. That's one thing I would suggest doing or taking a look at. I wouldn't just implement it today. I would want to take a look at all your stuff first before I said go for it. But that's the first idea that comes to mind. The second idea that comes to mind is offering some type of, do you offer any type of warranty or guarantee on the workshop or the summit?
So there's no guarantee on the summit since it's not it's essentially a live 1-day learning experience. But there's no guarantee on it.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm suggesting, and this is something we've also seen. So this comes from people that we've been like working with and studying that literally are Tony Robbins partners. And what they do is after they get through, let's say, I'm just going to call it a 2.5 hour thing. So they get through their 2 hour thing. At 2 hours in, what they do is they say, anybody who hasn't found value today, if you leave Zoom now and send us an email, we will refund you 100%. And they will also ask everybody before they get to that point, what do you think today's information was worth? Did you find it valuable? Yes or no? What would you say it's worth? And so they actually get people, they pick out their champions and they pick out the bad apples. Right? And then what they do is they say, anybody who does not like this and did not find value into this, at least $100, or if they paid $100, if you didn't find at least $200 worth of value in this today that you can implement, you can leave Zoom right now and we'll give you a refund and you'll never hear from us again. And typically what will happen is 1 or 2 people, depending on how many people come in, will do that, but you're getting rid of the bad apples. And then what you do is you go into a group closing model. You basically do your closing without having to fill out an application or have a call. You do it right then and there. You've already got their credit card information on file. And then you frame this thing into closing on the spot, and you're doing it in a group, which is going to reduce your sales team HR resources. Now, you can still have a couple people in the background because not everybody's going to make it through the entire thing. They're going to watch the replay and they're going to want to book an application and everything like that. But a lot of times, if you do it that way, you'll have more people signing up with people there on the spot than relying on them to fill out the application, take time out of their schedule to do this thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that sound like something that might be helpful?
Yes, that's something we can definitely look into.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of really great success with that. Obviously, there's a form and a function and a strategy and a right way to present it and all that kind of fun stuff. But the thing is, when you have a paid event, whether it be a full day or a 1 hour, 2 hour, or whatever it is, when you have a paid event, if you give them the opportunity to get the people out there who aren't finding value an exit way out, if you leave them in, then that energy and their comments or whatever they might say, it's going to prevent the other people who want to pay you from enrolling with you. So we want to get them out. And then we want to start with our champion, the person we know is already ready to go. And we call on them, we start talking to them, they get enrolled. It's like, hey, cool. Yeah. Should I use the same credit card you got on file? We just started. Yep. Okay, done. And you guys handle it in the background. Boom. You got your first enrollment. And when other people see that person taking the step, the early adopter like me, then they have social proof that somebody else is doing it. See, it's really hard for people to see applications. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eléa?
And I think just to kind of do a quick recap of this, when we're talking about conversions, and this is for established or beginner businesses, is the importance of data. Because conversions to me is all about the nuance. And you would be surprised at how much nuance goes into powerful conversions. And if you have the data to start to look at things, even if it's just like your first 5 clients, or if it's your, 500th client, is just to really know, okay, again, what's happening in your ads, what's happening in your emails, how many people are clicking on things, exactly what is your follow-up strategy, and exactly what does that script look like. And oftentimes when you start to study people and again, we're studying people with all different types of business models, what they always come back to is looking for those little nuanced things that can take a conversion rate from 10% to 20 or 20% to 30. And so it's kind of like digging in with your, solving the mystery of what that is going to be. And the best way to be able to solve those mysteries the fastest is to really make sure you have good data from the start.
Yeah. And going back to, and if Tal, we were talking about strategy before we started talking about the conversions, but this is part of the strategy, right? This is what people I don't think understand when it comes to marketing strategy. And that is laying out the entire journey and systematizing the entire process. This happens here. This happens here. This is our plan here. This is how we do this. This is what we're going to weed out the bad apples. This is how we're going to get the people to say yes. This is how we're going to do it in more of a group thing. A good business will have the ability to also speak to people who can't do the group thing and also do the group thing. Just like a good business will have the direct strategy, meaning, hey, you want that certification? You want to become a nutritionist now? We got your thing. They will also have the indirect strategy of, I need to check out Tal and his summit first before I make a commitment to this. Is that helping, Tal?
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, let's do a quick round of takeaways. And if you have any other questions, we'll be happy to stay on for a few more minutes. But what would you say, did you get value out of today? What would you say the biggest thing that you're taking away, 2, 3, or 30? What are the distinctions? What would you say has been really helpful for you? And Glenn, you unmuted, you're first.
Lucky me. Caught me off guard. I didn't have time to think. Just sales strategies, how you word things would be my biggest takeaway. I'm really thinking about that, and I'm sitting here pondering, how could I word this differently? I'm not even putting ads out there. I'm just putting content out on Instagram and Facebook. And I haven't done much content lately. I just had a spinal fusion 2 months ago. So I took a break from everything, not even studying. I didn't study, I didn't do anything. I just watched useless YouTube videos. But
dude, I've had surgery. More power to you.
It was the fourth fusion. So, but I can't really say a specific takeaway. I just find it very interesting because the information that you're sharing or the insights that you gave, it's stuff that I knew I needed to learn, and I want to know more because I want to be effective at what I do.
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn more and see how Move, Think, Smile can fit into what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Be happy to chat with you about that. And do remember, everything we do in a business is marketing. Mm-hmm. Every employee is marketing. We're always marketing all the time. I mean, you're a sales guy, so you know this, right?
Yes.
But, I used to work with, don't hate me, Monsanto, the big evil agricultural chemical company before they got evil.
Of course I know who they are.
Yeah. Well, my whole job was to get the sales team and the marketing team to hug.
Mhm.
Do you know?
You
how-
mean it's not the Monsanto hugging the pharmaceutical company?
that happened later? That was happening later, right? That wasn't my job. My job was to get the sales, and I work with American Cyanomed and be in the agricultural chemical space. That was like one of my first jobs out of college. And I would travel around the globe. And my whole job was to do ethnographies, get to really understand what farmers were doing, their growing practices, what made them tick, you know, what their policies were, what their values were around environmentalism and things like that, bring it back, you know, work with the sales team, where the sales team's always like, well, we understand them better than the marketing team does. The marketing people don't know what the hell's going on. They're just putting ads out there. And it's getting them to understand the customer from the same standpoint. And so the fist fights that broke out between sales and marketing, you're laughing, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But when it comes down to marketing, it's like when you're doing a post, stop calling a post a post. Stop calling an email an email. Call it an ad, because that's what it is.
Okay.
You're advertising.
Right.
You're just not paying for it. And so you want to treat everything that you write out there as a strategic maneuver. Some of them will have a call to action, meaning I want you to come check out my stuff. Either I got something to give you, or I'm going to sell you something, right? That's how the world works. Or they could be complete value, meaning you're just talking about something that happened. I mean, you could talk about your spinal fusion surgery. What happens? Like, yeah, I just spent the past 2 months doing this, and this is what I realized about when it comes to this and being a coach and stuff like this and in sales and blah, blah, and don't put a call to action in it. And when you do that, when you have a base of people who are actually reading your stuff, like an email list or a private closed Facebook group, you're building prospect equity. And you guys will see this later today. I'm going to throw out an email that basically, it's called The Only Ones Who Fail. And it has, I'm not going to ask for anything. I'm just going to give a piece of advice that I was helping a woman with the other day. She wrote in saying, I want to work with you guys. I can't, I'm dead broke. And so I took about an hour, and I kind of started conversing back with her for just because I just wanted her to feel better at the end of the day. And so I said, hey, that was a really cool thing that I just wrote. Do you like it? She's like, I love it. It's like, do you care if I share that? She's like, no. I was like, cool. I'm going to send it out on Tuesday.
All right, awesome.
So you'll see what happens there. So that's awesome. Awesome, Glenn.
Look forward to it.
Let's check in with Martha. What are we taking away from today? Or hopefully you were taking away something from today.
Of course, or I wouldn't have stayed on as long. I think the communication, how you talk to someone, is so important. I like the word change from high ticket, because that sounds like it's about me, to high impact, which really is about them. And then also how you learn to communicate that true value. Like, okay, it's your health, and people don't really, I think our job is to help people see a different point of view. And I had been saying, as a fact, I thought it was $11,000 a year on medicine and medical, but you're saying it's now $16,750
average.
You know, and the mentality is, well, my insurance pays for it after I pay. You know, if you have a deductible that's low enough, it doesn't bother you. But that's where we need to help people change that shift. It's like, it's money too.
Well, this is where taking the perspective of get them to want what they need is going to make your marketing really powerful, because so many people are relied on, they determine their health by what their insurance will pay for.
Right.
That is a magic pill seeker. There are people out there, and trust me, there's more and more of them that are realizing that wellness is not this voodoo witch snake oil thing that used to be only reserved for tree huggers and people eating granola back in the 70s and 80s, right? It's a real thing. It's real people coming with real knowledge about health and behavior change that can help people do some amazing things. And so it's becoming more wide adopted. And so in the marketing, what we want to do is, that's why I keep saying this is according to the CDC, that even if they have insurance, they're still wasting away $17,000 just managing a disease or a dysfunction. And what happens when we manage a disease or dysfunction?
Well, I like what you said. You quit wasting time. You know, tell somebody the truth. Quit wasting time.
Yeah.
You know, doctor spends 20 minutes with you, and you're spending $16,000 a year to keep refilling expensive prescriptions that are just going to keep making you worse.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is, what happens when somebody manages or manages and just mitigates the symptoms, the disease always gets worse.
Right.
It always, there's never a case where it's like, yeah, I lived to 95 and I had diabetes the entire time because I managed it.
Is that really health is the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even if you did find somebody that was 95 years old or 100 years, a centurion that has a A1C of 7.8 and managed it the entire time, did they actually enjoy their life?
Right. Where's the quality?
Yeah. Where's the quality?
So I think the key points were really finding where they are on that cycle or that timeline. So yeah, I got 2 pages of notes. So
all right. Excellent. And so Yana, what are we taking away?
Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
Good.
Yep.
Are we good?
Yes.
I just want to show my appreciation to both of you. This was so informative. It was amazing. And I do think I have a lot that I'm taking with me today. And starting with what impressed me was the fact that, we tend to market our modalities and not think about it. I'm like, whoa, this is maybe where I've made a huge mistake. It's like I'm saying that I'm doing iridology, I'm doing all of this, but actually saying or getting that out there to, it's like, okay, are you experiencing these and these symptoms, or more for people to relate to? And then it's like, this is my modality, this is what I'm working with. But that to me was, I think, something to think about. And just having a niche, I think that is important. Whereas I've got such a broad market. I mean, I've got a wellness center where I have so many modalities, and with, for instance, brain tap and reflexology, Reiki. It is totally a holistic approach. But at the same time, I'm looking at, well, if I, for instance, have a niche, I can draw people in here, say, for instance, for menopause, and they will become aware of all the other modalities that I'm offering. And that's maybe something that I need to focus on. And I really want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. And do remember, you can have more than one niche.
Yeah.
But my strong advice is focus on one until you get it profitable. Then you can scale by focusing on adding another one in. Basically, wash, rinse, repeat, and just kind of duplicate your things.
Yeah, because I'm busy writing a book on menopause, so that might be the main thing to focus on.
Now, earlier you said you also had products too, and I just wanted to touch on that. And if you can hang out for another minute, I'm going to do a quick round of takeaways, and then I have an idea for you I think you might find powerful.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, let's check in with, let's see here. Priya, if you've got audio, what are we taking away from today?
Yeah, she may not have audio.
Or Joanne, who was originally sitting outside with a great tree in the background.
Yeah, and snow. I'm not sure.
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
Let me see if I can get my camera on here. Oh, maybe I can't. My video is stopped. Well, okay, sorry, no camera.
No worries.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like Lynn in a way. I'm just kind of gathering information and waiting for something to really resonate. I learned a lot of marketing terms that I hadn't known before, so that'll be helpful as I am trying to navigate this world and figure out what works for me. And also it was a really good reminder to think from the client's point of view, think specific symptoms. I know I tend to get too geeky with things and too detail oriented, and I have to sit back.
I don't know who does that, Eléa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a lot from today, and I'm going to go back and listen to it again for sure.
Excellent.
Awesome.
And I do want to throw this out there. One of the things we do work with our clients on is we help them figure out what direction to go in.
Okay.
We do a balance of, okay, we need to make sure that the market potential is there you can actually have enough people that will say yes, because we have to have cash flow coming into the business. We also want to balance it with something that the health company or the practitioner, the business owner is going to enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like figuring that out and then saying, okay, well, let's start with this. Let's pick the low hanging fruit. We always want to start with the easy stuff first, the more popular things, and then we kind of evolve the business into the direction we want to go in. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, thank you for all you do.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And let's see here. Priya, we got Snow. Anybody got any other distinctions from today? Anybody else? All right. If not, let's go into Siyana. And so let's talk about product marketing, because most of the conversation today has been about, services, right?
Yes.
Working with people directly, functional, integrative, holistic, regenerative, longevity, all the fun stuff above. Now, your products, are they supplements?
Yes, herbal. It's actually herbal tinctures. It's herbal supplements. Yeah.
Okay. And have you tried anything to market them?
Well, I market that again on Instagram.
Okay, using paid ads. So
I do not have a lot of response though. So that is pretty new, and I just launched that about 2 months ago. So maybe it's still really the beginning stages, and I encourage my clients to order online. When I've seen them, I'm like, okay, if just look at the shop online, because it's connected to my website, the service website. So,
and what's your website?
SiyanaWellness.com.
Is that where your supplements are?
Supplements are Herbasal, like HERBASAL, Herbasal.com.
HERBASAL.com. Herbasal. Whoop, got to put an M in there. All right, I want to see what you got. HERBACELL.
HERBASAL.
SAL. Oh,
yes.
SAL. Sorry. I heard Sal. Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. So mind if I share this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Let me get this to the right point here. Okay. I've got a lot going on. All right. Share the screen. Let's take a look at what we got. So product marketing in the health and wellness space is a bit of it follows a lot of the same principles, but it's going to be different. In the old days, meaning like 5 years ago, in the old days, if you came out with a supplement for a specific thing, it was a lot easier. But there are now companies out there, formulation companies, where I could literally go start my own supplement brand literally tomorrow and have it ready next month to sell, which is really cool. So it really comes down to the unique mechanism, not just a unique mechanism in it, but also the way that it's processed and your knowledge and research behind the supplement, which is going to drive the sales, because you'll have the ones on because I'll go to shop and I'll tell you what I do. Let's say, okay, I got a Men's Health. I want to find something here that I would buy. Let's see here. Oh, one thing I would suggest doing is when I click on a category, don't have the category automatically show, because I just thought I just landed on the same page and I don't know you have products down here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So come down here. Let's see here. Got Spulse CBD, got sleep capsules, liquid iron, Irish sea moss, Magnol Livo Clear, Methyl Construct, Prostate Protect. Okay. This one right here is more, I like the name on this one because I know what it does, right?
Yes.
Whereas I don't know what Livo Clear means. I don't know what Magnol 1 means. I don't know.
Yeah.
So playing with the names can help.
Yes.
Methyl Reconstruct, I know what that is. So let's say I go here. I'm going to look at this. Nice label, super cool. I'm going to look at the ingredients. One thing I'm noticing that your web page is running off the side, so it looks like you have.
Yes, I see that. Yes.
There's a little bit of a formatting issue there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got boron. So if I read this and I'm a dude and I'm just kind of checking you out, I'm going to go boron. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to do this right there. I'm going to go to Amazon and I'm going to type in boron and I'm going to see, okay, how cheap can I get boron for? It's like, oh yeah, 13.40. Oh, $9. Okay, it's got some good reviews. You know, that's what people are doing, right? And so you've got yours at $52. So what we need to,
that's actually a combination of traditional Chinese medicine. So
I know.
I think they made a mistake there with the ingredients. Boron is just one of the ingredients.
Exactly. So one of the things we want to do with the messaging is what supplement companies will do is they'll list their ingredients, but you really want to have a paragraph at the top that explains the amazing outcome I'm going to get by taking your specific supplement. Right? That's the first thing that we want to do.
Yeah.
After we get the website formatted properly.
Yeah.
Then when we're doing our marketing, because you have a range of supplements and you've already categorized them to men, women, and different areas, this is where you're going to want to do what we call in-market targeting. Are you familiar with that term?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So in-market targeting, I'm going to define it just in case, because I think the way I define it is different, is where I download a list of people who are actively searching for boron. Like I could download a list of men right now who in the past 7 days who've done just what I did. They typed boron into Google, Yahoo, or Bing, the 3 major search engines. I can download that list. I can now create a custom audience inside of Facebook and Instagram and show my ad only to people who are in market for boron. What do you think is going to happen if you show your prostate protect to people who are actively in market looking for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Your sales are going to go up.
Yes.
Your sales are going to go up. Yeah. So some people call it precision targeting, but we stopped using that term because people don't understand that precision targeting is more than just like having interests.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Right. It's actually people who are actively searching for the stuff. So think of it as like inverted SEO. So if SEO is search engine optimization, where you put your keywords into your blog articles and you hope Google indexes them and people search for you organically. This is backwards. We're getting the people who are actively searching for that stuff. So we can take a keyword, a key phrase. So in supplement marketing, that's something that's powerful.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've seen that's very powerful is giving people a sample. Now, it could be free, but it could also be paid for to cover your cost. For instance, there's a company. Are you familiar with MidoPure?
Yes.
Okay, so urolithin A, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you look at urolithin A, I can go on Amazon and buy it for $10.
That's right.
But MidoPure is $125.
Yeah.
Why would I buy MidoPure when I can buy urolithin A on Amazon?
Yeah.
Well, look at what they do. If you go and you look at their website, you're like, okay, they stoke this stuff up. They actually sound like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. And then they actually labeled their urolithin A as MidoPure. Right. They gave it a unique mechanism that there's no other urolithin A out there like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how they're positioning their supplements against everybody else.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is interesting. And I mean, how do you compete with that?
Well, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
You do the same thing. You make your products stand out. You make them superior to the crap that's on Amazon, where they aren't scientifically backed, where they aren't tested, where they, no one has tested the purity of these things. I mean, who knows if it's rice powder or not?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's what I would do. And then I would also, instead of marketing the supplement in your ad, for instance, Prostate Protect, I would market, hey, if you're concerned about a swollen prostate and you are either on the verge of it going cancerous or are dealing with it right now, we might have something that might help you. Come check this out. Obviously, you got to be ethical. You got to follow the FDA rules. You can't say cure.
Of course. Claims and
But the same thing is we're not selling the vitamin anymore. We're not selling the supplement. We're not selling the agent. We're selling the benefit.
Exactly.
Of taking it. You sell the benefit, and then you download a list of people who are actively searching for that benefit. And that's how you sell supplements.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, I get that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, Glenn had to pop off. All right. So before I take
Fantastic.
off. Yeah. Any other questions for today? Anything else I can support you with?
It's all good. Thank you so much, Adam. I really, really appreciate the time and this was very, very informative. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Well, I'm going to put in the box again, just in case, if you guys would like
Okay.
help with that. That's movethinksmile.com, apply. You can come over, you can
Perfect.
check us out. Or if you want, you can respond to any of the emails that we sent out. I
Right.
answer them personally. So if you're like, hey, Adam, I'd like to chat some more about that, just let me know.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a
You got
wonderful
it.
day.
All right,
Thanks.
guys, everybody take care. My name is Adam Von Ens.
Thanks,
Ellie had to bail.
everybody.
She had a client meeting coming up. And let's get out there. Let's tip the scales from sickness and wellness, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.